Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the three proofs of why raw meat is much more superior than cooked meat and why raw animal products are much more superior than cooked animal products. The first proof that we have is the Pottinger's cat study. It was a study in nutrition that was done between 1932 and 1942. It was a study by a doctor named Francis M. Pottinger. He basically had 900 cats that were put into two groups. One cat had a raw meat diet plus raw milk, and the other had a cooked meat diet plus cooked milk, specifically pasteurized milk. And we can see in the pictures below the faces of the cats. So on the right, we can see the face of a cat which had cooked meat and cooked milk. They had very small faces, very crooked teeth. They had very narrow maxillas and not very forwardly grown maxillas. Their upper jaw was lacking. They had fertility issues, and by the third generation, they could not reproduce, and they had poor overall health, meaning that they were anemic. They weren't as extroverted as the cats with the raw meat or the raw meat group, and they just had poor overall health. On the left, we can see the cat which had raw meat and raw milk. They had very wide faces, forwardly grown maxillas, and maxillas that were able to house all their teeth. They had straight white teeth. They also had a very large bone mass in their faces, and they had excellent overall health. They didn't have any fertility issues, and they were very majestic creatures. The second proof that we have is a study that was published in 2008 or 2009. The name of the study is The Influence of Cooking and Fat Trimming on the Actual Nutrient Intake from Meat. So basically, they took a bunch of cuts. Beef cuts from, let's say, ribeye, brisket, also pork neck, and pork belly, veal chop, and so on and so forth. And they basically analyzed the meat before and after and saw the results of fat trimming and also cooking meat. What happened was there was a loss of nutrients during cooking, specifically mineral losses. Calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and phosphorus decreased during cooking, and also the vitamins like B6, B7, B12 that were water soluble vitamins also decreased heavily by about 80%. And the nutrient that was lost during cooking the most was thiamine, which it showed about 73% loss to up to 100% loss when cooking. There's also a loss of water that housed all of these minerals, which is very bioavailable water, unlike the tap water that we drink today. There's hindered mineral absorption, so the loss of minerals and the human body not being able to completely absorb them when cooked. There's also formation of free radicals, which happens when minerals bind with oxygen, which happens at very high heat that can be damaging to the body. There's oxidative stress on the food and on the vitamins. That's why there is less of them. And there's also the formation of AGEs, aka advanced glycation end products. These products happen when fat and protein molecules bond with oxygen, and the body isn't able to detoxify them easily. It isn't able to excrete them easily, so they usually stay in your system for years, usually in the fat of the animal or in the human. So about 10 to 30% of dietary AGEs are absorbed, meaning that you don't absorb all of them, but some of them you do, and they are very damaging for your health, for your skin, your hair, and they can cause skin irritation, hair loss, and many other bad processes in the body. The third proof that we have is the nutritional and physical degeneration by a Dr. Weston A. Price. So Weston A. Price was a dentist and also an orthodontist that noticed that in the 1940s and 50s, a lot of people had very narrow jaws. They didn't have forwardly projected jaws, and they also had very crooked teeth. So what he did, he traveled the world to West Africa, Central Africa, Central Europe, um, Northern America and Asia to see how people have crooked teeth, and also did they have nutritional degeneration and deficiencies. So I'm going to show you first the picture here. This is a picture of three men in three native Australians or Aborigines in Australia. But you can see by their faces they had very broad faces, very wide maxillas, very straight teeth, high zygomatic bones, and very deep set eyes because they had a very protruding brow ridge. These people, what they ate was raw meat, raw organs from wild animals, raw dairy from wild animals, and seasonally raw fruits and vegetables that they would find in the wild. That's why they are so, first of all, tall. Second, even though this gentleman in the middle is significantly older, he still has hair on his head, unlike what we see today. And they also had very wide shoulders and very muscular and built bodies. The second picture shows a young African American male, and you can see that this boy right here has perfectly straight teeth. He has a very he has perfectly straight teeth, and also he has a very wide maxilla. His face is very forwardly grown. We can see by just by the teeth, by the fact that the eyes have very good under eye support, and also that his eyes are very deep set. You don't really see bulging eyes when people are very healthy. He also has amazing hair and is general in excellent overall health. So these people that ate like this, including raw organs, raw meat, raw dairy, and so on, had straight teeth, had very wide faces, had excellent skin quality. They didn't have any scars or pimples, and had very forwardly grown faces. But when people from these primal communities went to live with the regular, more quote, civilized people, end quote, what happened was a nutritional loss and also a skeletal deformation. You can see in this picture, first of all, on the left, these are African American males, and you can see that the faces that were very wide and happy and had perfectly straight teeth are no longer there because these people transitioned into eating a cooked or transitioned in eating from a very natural diet to a very unnatural, including processed sugars, flours, and so on and so forth. They also had very significant dental decline. They had many cavities and they were very colored. They weren't pearly white as the picture before. And on the second picture here, you can also see a lot of dental deformation, specifically in the upper jaw, and also a lot of tooth loss. Okay, these are basically the three proofs that I have shown you. Um, I hope you guys like the video. I hope you guys like this video very much. I will be making a lot more videos specifically in the coming week, and also a lot more edits. So stay tuned for that, and thank you very much.